Hey guys, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Slimefun with your host Boomer. We are emerging from this tunnel to show you what happens when you decide to play with the wither. As you guys know, one of the things that you need for blistering ingots is nether stars. And because we don't have enough materials put together to make the wither assembler, we got to do it ourselves manually. So we did one of the tricks that you might be familiar with is I had built a 1 wide by 2 high tunnel coming all the way down, spawn a wither, ran about 15 blocks away, and then would creep up to the edge of the 1 by 2, hit him with the sword until he destroyed the block, and then just kept moving backwards. You can see that the wither actually is a great tunnel borer. The only reason those 2 spots are so broken up is where I spawned my last 2. Otherwise, he dug a really nice 3 by 4 tunnel for me. Not that I have any plans for it, but I had to kill 4 withers. I needed 4 blistering ingots. I've got the carbonados for it. I've got the blistering ingots. And the reason we're going to do this is to upgrade our power from 4 carbonado solar generators to 1 energized. Now, that will give us the same amount of power during the day, but it will give us power at night where currently we don't have any. What we have in here are 4 carbonado generators. So these are going to come out. I'm going to have to get some more glass. I don't have silk touch yet. These are going to come out, and we're going to turn them into an energized solar generator. But then we're going to have to get some more carbonado generators going and eventually more solar. So I showed this to you guys and I started setting some stuff up here. And initially I was okay with this. And then I added storage for 40 different ingots that we can craft. And I've got a basic stock on most of them. And then I realized I had to add the smeltery. And I've got this thing in here. And very quickly I became unhappy with this layout. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to take the ancient altar and I'm going to put it in the other room because it's not something you're going to use on a regular basis. And I can stick a magnesium generator or something in there to, the small capacitor to generate the power I need to use it. So that's going to come out of here. I think what I'm going to do is pull everything forward a little bit, and I want to be able to run things horizontally down the long axis. Here's the challenge, that based on where I have this and how I set this up, this becomes very inefficient in terms of layout and setting things up. So I'm going to move the power to this row as well as the data cargo manager. And then I'm just going to extend it down this. So everything shoots down the long axis with room where I need it in between, just so that I can, walk down this and not have to be flush up against it trying to access stuff up here. I want to have at least 2 spots to walk through on this first row. And the other challenge is, at some point, there's going to be nodes to pull dust out and to pull ingots out. Also, in some cases, I have 3,000 or 4,000 dust. In other cases, I have 10,000 dust. So to move everything in here will definitely take some time. Now there's not as much in these, the smaller, I did the 6,000 size storage unit. So like for the, 20 carat, okay, great. I essentially have a stack. I did a stack of every size, and then I've had to use some gilded iron, but the ones I made the most of, the stuff from motors, nickel, and cobalt. So I'm really unhappy with this layout. I really need to redo it. So I'm going to start tearing this apart, come up with a new layout, and then we'll proceed with changing our power supply. All right, guys, so we've completely cleaned out the room, got everything stored in chests. We didn't save all the dust. We saved all the ingots, but I saved roughly a chest worth of each dust. Given how fast we can create it, I'm not worried about it. But the first thing we've got to do is get this heated pressure chamber going and create the 4 blistering ingots. To start with, I've actually got to go in here and pull out 24 karat gold. The nice thing about the basic storage units is that you can pick them up and the items stay in there. But the other ones, the fluffy ones, they do break. That's the one downside, is that it drops 3,240 items at a crack. If you want to know why I know that, because I got the message roughly 30 times. So let's start with our 24 karat gold. First thing is uranium. Wow, heated pressure chambers are a whole lot faster than they used to be. I remember the old ones taking 45 seconds. This is a level 1. This is not a level 2. I'm really shocked at how quick they went. Whoops, carbonado's next. Wow. Well, I'm glad to see that's cranked up a lot. That makes this process a lot faster. Okay, we've got our 4 blistering ingots. We're going to pick this up. We are wearing our hazmat suit, by the way, in case you'd like to see our wonderful hazmat suit. So now, to finish this process, we need one more electromagnet. Here's where I've got to hope this capacitor I spent the time creating has enough power. All right, because we have to now put this, oh no, we just crafted it, never mind, we've got enough power. We don't need power. We simply need to take these and put it in the crafting table and we're good to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's been a little while, forgive me guys, for some reason I thought I needed to do something with power. Alright, now we have an energized solar generator. So the nice thing about this, it's still the exact same power level as 4 carbonados, but it will run half the amount of power at nighttime, so at least the machines will keep going. Now what we need to do is start working on getting a second one going. That way we'll have the same amount of power that we previously did that's running during the nighttime that was running during the day, and we'll have double the daytime. Ultimately, I think we're moving towards something with more power, whether it be nuclear, whether it be one of the new items that we haven't played around with. I can eventually see going with a void capacitor. I could see going with some of the infinity items for the network to be more than sufficient. For now, we build up as the game allows us. So let me get the room set back up and we'll talk about next steps. Guys, where'd you go? It's hard to see through all this mess. Yeah, we've got everything put together. Let's talk about what's set up, what we're doing. Just for ease, I'm going to jump into creative here just to fly around so this is a little bit easier to explain what we're doing. So back in this corner, we've hit our trash can way up here out of the way, and we've got coal and flint, we've got flint and clay going in there. We currently have 3 cobble gens running, our 15 ore grinders. We have our 8 gold pans, 4 dust washers, and our 36 smelteries. Now the smelteries are not powered up yet, they're not running. Power is going to be an issue. That's what we got to talk about. All of this on this back side is on channel 1, except for the smelteries. Those will be set to channel 2 when we get going. But this is all on channel 1. The dust coming into our fluffy barrels is also on channel 1. Whoops, why did that do that? There we go. And we're getting some items back in here. We didn't save everything when we busted them up, but so the dust comes into channel 1, and then going to the ingot factories or the fluffy barrel storage for the ingots, those are on channel 2. Some of these are going to have to go from the ingot factory to the smelteries as well as the storage. So all the smelteries are going to be on channel 2. So we're going to have 32 smelteries running to autocraft every ingot, including mag steel, the core stuff, not the void ingots and all that other kind of fun stuff down the road. And a lot of that won't work in a smeltery anyways. And then 4 extra ones for whatever I need to do. So that will automatically feed. So for example, if the smeltery that I've got my crosshairs on right now is nickel, half of that will feed into the nickel storage chest, half of that will feed into the cobalt smeltery. Just like we'll have iron ingots or iron dust and copper dust going into the cobalt smeltery, as well as the nickel smeltery. So it will give me all 32 of those ingots automatically processing. Now, some will clearly run faster than others, depending on, how many items require that. So, for example, when I'm talking about, and I've got it all written down here. Here we go. Copper. Copper dust is involved in 7 different ingot creations. Iron dust is involved in 7 different ingot creations. Magnesium is in 1, and that's mag steel, not including magnesium ingots. So some of these are going to run much faster than others. It's okay, as long as I got them all running, eventually they'll fill up and stop running because I'll have all that I'll need to work with. But power becomes a problem. We have one energized solar generator running and a carbon auto running, so I'm making 320 joules per second. When everything here, and if I includes the 4th and 5th cobogens, when those are running, the sulfate farm is set back up. The furnaces are running for turning cobblestone into stone, and then turning sand into glass. When we get all that going, we're going to be running almost 1,000 joules per second, including the smelteries. I'm generating 320 right now. So I could put 4 energized solar generators and run 1,000. I can run a nuclear power plant, but I need 2 of them because it's 512 joules, I believe, per second. Another star reactor, which needs a nuclear one first just to get me the boosted uranium, only creates 1,024 joules per second. And that's in the core part of it, is the maximum energy making machine. Now I could put energy, carbon auto capacitors throughout this whole thing, and when it's not running all the power I need, it's going to store up, but eventually I'm going to run out. So I need to spend some time going through the guide and finding more out about these machines that can create 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 joules per second, because we're going to need it. We haven't even put the automatic crafting stuff in yet for motors and batteries and coils and all of that. There's so many more things that are not in this section yet. We're going to have equipment, most likely both of these rows going all the way down, and then at least one full row of equipment going down there. There may be more, because there's so much we still haven't even touched. The Claytech stuff, the Infinity stuff. We haven't even begun to break into this pack yet. So we do have a lot of work left to do, but I wanted to just kind of tell you where we're at. So this is the base course setup. It's much slicker, much tighter, much cleaner, and everything will be 100% fully automated. So the next episode, I'll walk you through how the 32 smelteries are set up, and then we're going to talk about power. But I need to wrap this up here. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. If you're new or if you've been watching for a while and you still haven't hit that subscription button yet, pound that sucker before you call it a day. But remember, when you play Minecraft, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.